Hey everyone, you are watching TechTechPotato and we are live from Lana'i Cat Sanctuary. Well, at least I hope you can see and hear. What am I doing here? Well, I'm in Hawaii for Qualcomm's Snapdragon Tech Summit. I decided to arrive a day early and I decided to jump a couple of islands, still incredibly jet lagged, to this place which is, well, Lana'i Cat Sanctuary. If you're a big fan of cats and you want as many on you at once, this is a place where you come. It's I was just saying in chat before we started, sat down and 300 3 cats within a minute were laying on me, and everywhere I see it's cats. You can't get more cat than this. Oh, goodbye. Apparently me talking has scared a few away. I just decided let's do an ad hoc stream. So for context, the reason why I'm here is I came here 3 years ago for the first time, and I just thought, well, cat sanctuaries, I love cats, let's go see it, and besotted with the place, really. It's very difficult to get to. I mean, come on, I'm from the UK. It's 21 hours of flying, plus either a boat ride or another couple of plane rides to get here. But story of how this island came about, really interesting. I mean, it's currently owned by Larry Ellison of Oracle, but it used to be owned by Dole. Lana'i is the pineapple island. So they used to have loads of pineapple groves, and they used to have cats to take care of the pests. So when the pineapple groves left, cats remained. Cats started attacking local wildlife, especially endangered wildlife. So now we have a cat sanctuary, and this place, 650 cats. They get about plus 150 every year, though they lose some to adoption, and unfortunately some of them pass away. But when I was here 3 years ago, they didn't even have internet. This is the strangest thing. The only way that they could get internet is by holding up a smartphone in one corner of the property. They're a mile away from the airport, and you may get 1 bar of 3G. Come here 3 years later, it's expanded. They've got more facilities. They've got electricity. They've got internet. Apparently, it's better than the Four Seasons internet down the road. I'm literally outside. You probably hear all the wind. That's why I've got the microphone so close to my face. It's very windy today. It was raining earlier. And I'm on my laptop. I've got no special camera. Laptop is on the battery, and it's got an hour left before we close, and they said I could stream. And I've been here all day. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning. It's now 2 p.m. And the goal was to come here and record some videos with cats in the background, some proper tech videos. I have managed to do that. I do need to go check the audio because, like I said, it's really windy here, so I'm not 100% sure that I can eliminate the wind. And I also kind of want to do a proper video article about this place. It's not tech, but it's fun. And the funny thing is, the CEO is here today, and the minute I arrived, he agreed to an interview. So I've got 20 minutes of content with him on camera that I need to go edit. So this is going to be fun. Can't see the kid. Oh, okay, cat, don't clean yourself right in front of me. But yeah, maybe you can see a few behind me. This place is, on 3 acres, 650 cats, 12 full-time staff. I asked CEO how much it costs to run this place. $900,000 a year. So I updated my t-shirt because the one I got 3 years ago is rough and ragged. There is a link in the video description if you want to help out. This is not paid by them. I'm just here. I like cats, and it's that funny joke, right? It's you either cat people or dog people. Except cat people are also dog people, but dog people aren't cat people. So you'll see I put cats at the end of my videos. If you don't, then why aren't you watching to the end? But I just thought let's do something around cats. Yeah. Aside from that, yeah, I'm in Hawaii for Qualcomm's Tech Summit. Next 3 days. That should be fun. Usually at these things, we get to hear about new silicon. I'm trying to make sure I get hold of an interview with Cristiano Amon. He's the former president, now CEO, because I really want to ask about Nuvia. Nuvia is... I've literally done a small video to camera while I've been here about the Nuvia thing, but Nuvia chip coming next year. I want to understand more about that, and hopefully they've got some of the Nuvia engineers here. I'm technically meant to be spending a couple of weeks in the US. Going to spend some time in Austin with Patrick Kennedy from Serve the Home. We're going to do a couple of videos together. I want to drive out to where Samsung have just announced their new plant in Taylor, Texas, because that's just down the road from Austin, and do a video there about that. That can be fun. I've just literally been this morning speaking to Rogue from Tech Deals, because they're in Dallas, just up the road. I might go spend a day with them, because that's a short flight from Austin. And then, sweeping back round, I'll go see Jeff from Craft Computing. So I'm going to be on his live stream, Talking Heads. And after that is the IEDM conference, International Electron Devices meeting. Though I did just get an email this morning saying that they're thinking of making it virtual, but my hotel is all booked and my flights are all booked, so I'm still going to go. I hope they don't make it virtual only, because it's always the in-person stuff. I like that event because it gets really technical about process node technology, so that's fun. I've already got all the talks that I want to see listed out. There's some talks about 1 nanometer scale stuff and advanced metrology and manufacturing, so it's always good. And then hopefully I'm going to spend a day in Santa Clara, around there, where I still need to reach out to them, but hit up companies like Cerebrus. I might see Raja Kaduri, to do the video that Patrick Kennedy beat me to. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go see Wendell Dillon. Wendell's in a bit of Kentucky where I'd need to connect through Charlotte, and I'm actually going back home through Charlotte, but already spending more than enough time away for my first work trip since February last year. But it is on the cards at some point. And yeah, hi to everybody. Peter's here, Sophia's here. Tan, I think this is more jet lag. I'm still jet lagged after all my flights, so it's going to be fun trying to wake up 6 o'clock tomorrow morning for 8-9 a.m. start. And because it's Hawaii time, I always get all my time zones mixed up, because normally in the UK the US is all behind me. Now I have to remember that the US is all ahead of me while I'm here. So some people saying I should get up to Linus. It's for the first trip back after the pandemic, though that being said, there is a question whether they'll let me in the country when I get back home. There's people I want to visit, and it helps if they're all clustered together. Unfortunately, Linus isn't clustered near anyone, and Wendell isn't clustered near anyone, though Alan Malventano said next time I'm in the area to visit Wendell, he'll drive down because he's in the area as well, and that'd be fun. So cats do help with jet lag, Ghostfish. From I'm staying on the Big Island in Kona. So to get to Lana'i is actually 2 flights. You have to fly to Maui, and then it's a short, 30-minute flight to Lana'i. And when I first looked, it was $150, and then when I booked it last night, it was double that. So it's. I was debating whether to come because it said it would be rainy, and it's definitely windy today, windier than I would have hoped. But I'm really glad I spent the money. Thanks to you guys for supporting the channel. You guys have done a part of that, and just getting my fill of cats. Made a good donation, and if you guys want to help out with this sanctuary, they got cats you can adopt. You can visit. Oh, somebody's here to say hello. It's I should probably do a tour of this place, though I'm not sure you'd take too kindly to a laptop camera showing it. Say hi. Because, yeah, these are cats that will go around, and some of them will want nuzzles and cuddles, and others will just run away. But they've got kittens here as well. I'll play with some kittens. And, oh, hello. You're jumping over. Let's see if I can move around and if the signal will hold out, because I'm using the wireless in this area. Oh, let's all connect up. And excuse the bit of turbulence. I'm going to be in the sun. And yeah, guess what? I can't see the screen. Let's turn the brightness up. And I'm going to go sit where all the cats were mobbing me last time. Hello. Hello. They give everybody who comes here treats to feed the cats, and obviously all the cats want the treats. And no, I still can't see chat, but as you can literally see, I am being mobbed. They're wondering what's... Yes? How are you finding it here at Lana'i? Oh, no, don't stand on the laptop. You'll break the stream, no doubt. I got plenty of videos of the cats here, and I'll put them up, and maybe you'll enjoy those. I've sat down, I've literally already got one on my lap. I've got one that's trying to get underneath my leg, got one on my arm, and as always with cats, they want to rub their faces up against the screen. Meow. You talk. No, just the one meow. Oh, I really can't see the screen, it's all in the sun. Cats. I've definitely got a lot of cat tax pictures. So I came here with my DSLR, with a spare smartphone, with my smartphone and my laptop. My DSLR is run out of battery. My spare smartphone is down to 50%. And yeah, turn the laptop on for the first time. My main smartphone's probably down to 50%, but I was also on it on the plane here. So tech-wise, this place, yeah. So they have, like I say, all these cats. Each cat has obviously a medical file, and right now each cat is a Word document. Oh, not on the laptop, please. Each cat is a Word document in a Dropbox folder that gets synced with the vet, and they don't have a vet on this island. 3,000 people and no vet. And yeah, they sync up with the vet that lives on Maui, I think. And whenever there's an issue, they'll sync the files, and then the vet will come out once a month and sort it. And that was the limit of their technology here. They've got a mobile van to do like mini surgeries, but other than that, other than all the serious stuff, they have to fly the cats out, which is a shame. CEO was telling me it took so long for them to get internet properly, and one gets off and two more come along. No, I've not got any treats, so now they're all going away. Not sure if you can see all those. Oh, you got caught in my microphone. Can you untangle yourself, please? Let's see what happens if I try and sit with them. Hey. Meow. Oh, there we go, some shade. Sorry about that. Yeah, this one wants a bit of a... you wouldn't think that 95% of these cats were originally feral. So if I retire, I think this is where I want to come. I've been speaking to a couple of the people who work here. You know, gave up their day jobs and come to work here. Obviously, doesn't pay very well, and Maui is very. Lana'i, apparently getting property here is really hard. But do you want to speak? Look at these two. Hey. These two have been rubbing up against each other since the minute I got here. There's one cat here called Shadow who has breathing problems, but you can hear him a mile off. He was following me around earlier. Hey. How many of these are you taking home today? You know, I wish I could, but what is it, 10,000 miles to get home? Okay then, Muse, what's your minimum specification, eh? Scritches and treats, that's all they want. Let's put it this way, I'm going back to the hotel tonight with about 6 more holes in my body than when I left. So I could just sit here all day if it wasn't just so windy, really. Oh, do you mind? You're showing everybody your butt. Is that allowed on YouTube? Yeah, the wind's definitely picking up now. So yeah, I mean, on my tech schedule, rest of the year, most of it is centered around this trip. Unfortunately, I didn't get as much Alder Lake stuff done as I'd originally planned. I was halfway through testing the other 2 chips, then I had to send them off to Gavin before I left, so he might do a few things with them. But yeah, no, my tech plans for the rest of the year are this whole US trip. Qualcomm for here, then go spend some time with Patrick. Probably spend some time with Tech and Rogue, and then with Jeff, and then IEDM, and maybe see a few companies there. After that, we get into sort of like the Christmas period. The reason why Old Lake stuff was so, Black Friday. I think I spent too much on Black Friday, but we'll go through to the new year. CES. I'm not going to CES this year. It's after this long trip, stay at home for a bit, do CS from home. But it'd be interesting to see what gets announced at CES. A few of the companies are pulling out, but AMD keynote, I think we're all looking forward to. Excuse me. And then, one thing that really annoyed me recently, tech space, is supercomputing. So supercomputing annual conference this year was in Missouri, St. Louis. Oh, hello. Do you want to speak? Or do you just want to sniff? Yes. Oh, can you all see that? I got a buddy to come say hello. I had one drooling on me earlier. Anyway, so yeah, supercomputing. Didn't go because it was in Missouri. And if you watch Patrick Kennedy's videos, there were 3,000 people. Ended up going, rather than the normal 20,000. But the videos they showcased were showing some really interesting stuff, and it's a shame I wasn't there to have those conversations, because supercomputing to me ended up being a bit dullish, because that sort of thing you really need to be there. And I'm really envious that Patrick went in the end. holding hope for next year because, well, if we keep getting variants like Delta and Omicron, who knows? This tortie is now purring. I wish you could be here to feel this. All he wanted was a snuggle. So when the cats do come in, they do spay and neuter all of them. But they live out the rest of their lives here unless they get adopted. And lifespan of a feral cat on the island is between 3 and 5 years. That can double or triple when they're in the sanctuary. More cats coming to say hello. Seriously, you should all come. Oh, Sophia asks, tell us what you bought this morning. I posted on Twitter. I'd already spent $420.69. What I purchased this morning was the plane ticket to come here and the taxi from the hotel to the airport. It came to exactly $420.69. Nothing special. It's say 2 p.m. here, which means it's gone midnight in the UK, which means Cyber Monday is over. It's actual funny fact. So Lana'i is Hawaii's 6th biggest island and like America's 43rd. The main industry here is tourism. There's less than 3,000 people permanently on the island, and they said because there's not a lot of options for stores. There's like a general store in the city and like a bank. Aside from that, everybody buys everything from Amazon. So, yeah. And then I was thinking, why would Amazon ship so much to Lana'i? But then they do get a ferry 4 times a day. They do get planes. I mean, I came here on a plane. There's 5 or 6 flights here from Maui a day. So there's plenty of opportunity for Amazon to come here. Hostile says, when is all this global chip shortage going to clear? Got a rough ETA. Ask me again next year. Seriously, everybody's predicting the end. And I can't remember who I watched who said it. Who basically went along and said, if you want to solve the global chip crisis, or the global supply chain issues, overload the bottleneck by like a factor 5. So it's like all the oh hello, here's another one come say hi. You're not going to say anything, though, are you? So like one of the issues is the reasons why boats can't unload on the west coast is because there's nowhere to put the containers. So being able to designate land for container space is a way to overload that system. That way you can just go through all the boats. And really, I think that needs to happen before solving supply chain chip shortage issues. I mean, they're saying it's packaging. We've got shortages on display controllers, on displays. You'll hear AMD say something like matched sets. And what they mean is, if you want to build a laptop, you need one of everything. So the idea is you make sure that you have the same amount of panels, same amount of CPU, same amount of memory, and each one is like a matched set. So that's how they're going. Bottlenecks are kind of everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of emphasis put on the 28 nanometer plus, and some of that's capacity, and some of that will come online in 2024. We asked Pat Gelsinger, what's going to happen if you build all this capacity and you end up, we go into the opposite of a chip shortage. He said, well, in that case, we'll just move more products to our own fabs, so we can use our own fabs rather than everybody else's. Though then it comes are you actually going to be competitive and stuff? And yeah, his whole big thing was IFS. IFS is going to be the interesting story, I think, over the next 10 years. That and high NA EUV. So somebody was asking about going to see ASML. Again, it's one of those things that if I go visit New York State, which to be honest I've only done 2 or 3 times during this career, I'd want to go up and see IBM in Fishkill. Then Poughkeepsie or Fishkill? Fishkill's got the fab, but didn't they sell that? Yeah, because that's where they got 2 nanometer chip, and then around the corner you've got Wilton, Connecticut, ASML, and then down the coast. Let's go to Kentucky to see Wendell. Excuse me. So that's plans on the cards, and then wherever PC World is. Oh, that's what I was going to do when I was in Austin. I had an open invite years ago to see the PC Part Picker guys. That would be an interesting video. Who wants to see a video about PC Part Picker? I'd love to do that. I need to get in touch with them if I'm going to be in Austin in a couple of weeks, and as long as they're okay. I'm fully vaccinated, so come over to Germany and visit Zeiss. I was actually doing a piece to camera earlier about being a member of the press, and usually member of the tech press, you're either a member of the PC press, you're either a member of the smartphone press, or the semiconductor press, or the SSD press, or the GPU press. Very rarely you get somebody who tries to cover it all. Now, I've covered a lot of those in my time, but the more you cover, the less deep you can go into them, and you also need to make sure you've still got an audience for those specific ones. I mean, if you go too deep into talking about Zeiss optics, does it still mean that your channel or your content grows? That sort of stuff. So, this guy, you are shedding. I had a cat drooling on me earlier. Notice you're not seeing the full cat. Obviously, cat matters more than me. As long as I can still see the screen. Thanks, Adam, for the $5. Give every kitty a smooch for me. If I came here more often, I'd play a game of see how many cats I can touch in a day. 653. Obviously, some of them you can't touch because they're in quarantine and stuff. But there are also quite a lot of feral cats. So, hey, do you want to come over? This one's being interested as well. See if I can balance that on my legs. Hey, come on. No, just have a sniff. And there's a big boy down here that I guess you can't see. Hey. No, I'm going to be cleaning. That's another tortie as well. It's Hey. So some fun, more facts about this place, just because I'll keep talking about it. Like I say, they need $900,000 a year. That's their cost. That's cat food. That's vets bills. That's paying the staff. And out of that, it's $45,000 just to feed them. They normally get about 16,000 visitors a year. Though that's severely decreased, obviously, in COVID, even though they have been open, because everybody who works here lives on the island. So, I mentioned the cat sanctuary again, and the viewers dipped by half. Or did they all drop out? I don't know. To be honest, I'm using their Wi-Fi here, and I said, "How good's the streaming?" Because I noticed if you go follow their channel, they'd done a couple of streams recently, and they said, "Yeah, no problem." So, yeah, let's do some streaming. They're trying to get a couple of webcams in here, so you can watch the cats during the day from the website or from social media. They haven't got that set up yet. It sounds very much. No, I'm being meowed at. Hey, no, just wanted to meow at me. They're very much cat focused. So I was saying, let's go. What are you doing for tech? And they said they wanted to get somebody in to do that. They apparently they hired a social media manager for Christmas, and that didn't work out too well because they must have got the wrong person. The campaigns didn't do it. They actually had a pet blogger come here and do a stream on her phone or something. Apparently they sold 100 t-shirts in 20 minutes. Now, because obviously my channel's a tech channel, not a animal channel, that's never going to happen. But and I mean, the best thing people can do to this place is visit. The funny thing is, they're not mentioned on the Wikipedia article for Lana'i, even though they're the main tourist attraction of the island. So I was told. So, hey, you're putting your butt in the air because that's where you like being scratched. Why do cats put their butt in the air when you scratch them? So, well, don't be grumpy. Some of them can get aggressive when you start feeding others. I remember the first time I was here, I sat down, and yeah, the cats mob you. But then one was like adamant that he was the one that was going to sit on my lap, and if anybody else came and tried to sit on the lap, they got a growl, they got a swipe, they got a hiss. Yeah, if the tech channel doesn't take off, I'll become a cat channel instead. Hostile says, are there any 40, 45 nanometer or bigger node fabs still in business? So, would you believe it, that half of TSMC's revenue comes from 28 nanometer or larger? Only, I think at the last earnings, it was 49% is fives, what is prepaid for 3, 5, 7, and 14, and but then 28 up is 51% of TSMC's revenue. And if you look at the number of wafers, they do 13 million wafers a year now. Only a small portion of those, like 2 million, is leading edge. The rest is all that larger process node technology. And obviously Global Foundries, they do a lot of specialty technologies on the larger process nodes. Doesn't Intel still have a 180 mil fab somewhere? Or a 65? Because they still have customers that want that stuff. Embedded processors that are meant to last 15, 20 years, they have to still be up and running. And you can't kind of replace it with a like-for-like built on a lower process node, because these are built to spec. As Tommy Hummy 1 says, all the automotive chips, you can't just instantly go and replace one for a model car that might be in production for another 12, 15 years. So a couple of the people who work here have been walking in and out of the enclosure, and you see all the cats running around. Ooh, and it's getting really windy now. So yeah, lots of most chips by die area are not on leading process edge nodes. When I spoke to Thomas Caulfield, CEO of Global Foundries, earlier in the year, he said, look, Intel in the US, with their leading edge technology, accounts for 30%, 70% of the market. Global Foundries can do the rest. Sorry, I keep touching my nose because I've got cat hair up my nose now. You come to a cat sanctuary, you're going to get cat hair up your nose. So, all the fabs still run on silicon. And yeah, as Tommy Homie says, if you do by transistor count, than leading edge. I don't know if leading edge takes a front seat there. I've got a picture from a analyst firm that I've been saving for 8 months now, and it says like 80% of the silicon in your smartphone is not leading edge. And I wanted to do a video just on that picture. I mean, it might only be like a 5-minute video, but it's really good. I think that's a really good way of looking at it. So much of the silicon we use these days is not leading edge. I mean, think about in your PC. Chipset. Okay, chipsets have moved now to 14 nanometer. So that's a bit better, but they all used to be 28. Controller in the SSD. They're coming down. The PMIC on your memory, on your DDR5, that's probably still built on 28 nanometer. Your network controller, that's probably still built on 28 nanometer. Your Wi-Fi module might now be 14. Audio codec is probably still 28, if not 45. What else goes into a PC? There's a display controller in your monitor, obviously. That microcontroller you have in your mechanical keyboard, that's probably 28 or 45. Same as in your mouse. In headset, if you've got a special USB-C headset. The silicon that goes into your power supplies. And I don't just mean desktop PC power supplies, laptop power supplies. That will all be larger than 14 nanometer. Yeah. ODDs, optical disk drives, hard drives. That'll all be 28, 45 nanometer. Yeah, it's all that sort of stuff. If motherboards don't come with I/O chips anymore, but if they did, that's probably be 65, 90. So, one of the things that we really need to sort out in the industry, which will never get sorted out, is how you count a transistor. I mean, transistor density is a metric that people say, why do we use process nodes like 753? Can't we just use transistor density? And no, not really, because when we say 100 on Intel versus 100 at TSMC, they're counting them slightly differently. But also there's a sense of, I've got a cat sneezing next to me now. And forgotten what I was talking about. Anyway, chipsets. Intel went to 14 a little while ago. Zen X370 was 55 nanometer, but after that it went to Global Foundries 14. I mean the I/O die in EPIC is still built on 14, isn't it? So you have to wait until Genoa, until that gets. I presume that's moving to TSMC N7. They haven't. Oh yes, sorry, transistor density. So the number you see quoted is usually the high density libraries, and the high density libraries are not the high performance libraries. High performance libraries are usually half as dense. So, I have so much cat hair up my nose. I should stop stroking cats. Never going to happen. So, and aloha to Quast. Quast, yeah, I'm reading that right. A little bit of sun on the screen. But yeah, getting the whole industry to get to transistor density, getting the right metric. Intel tried to do a thing a few years ago where they were saying we should go back to the old one where it's 70% flip-flops and 30% SRAMs, and otherwise you might as well just take the most meaningless, smallest elements and just populate it and say that's your density. So it's so what's it? We've been streaming 40 minutes now, and I still have 60% battery on this laptop left. I am in high performance mode, so I'm using a MSI Prestige 14 Intel Evo laptop, and all I'm doing is streaming right now. Oh, and there was a $20 super chat from Ziv. I am so high on catnip right now. I am so high on cat hair right now. It is unbelievable. So Muriazi says we should stop numbering nodes, giving them names instead. That's what I said to Intel. I said, do it. Put names. Just use names. And it'll be fine. It'll be fun. Everybody will get on board with that. Though you could call Intel 7 a name. Just it's got a name with a number in it. So yeah, you could have so much fun with process node names. But right now, I mean, back with when Alder Lake was announced, I put Intel 7 nanometer in my title. The cat's just come off me. Hey, you had enough? Oh no, somebody else is probably handing out food. That's why. Yeah, I said Intel 7 nanometer in my title, and some people complained, saying, "Well, it's not 7 nanometer, it's Intel 7." And my retort was, "Well, we say TSMC 7 nanometer, but it's TSMC N7, so I'm still gonna say 7 nanometer because that's the title and that's the SEO, and it's really hard to write Intel 7 in the title. I may have complained about this before on other streams. Sorry about that. I'm glad Intel changed the names. It's a bit hard. It's a bit unwieldy. But with me on this trip, I have brought along. Not only do I have this MSI Prestige 14 Evo, I've got the. It's another MSI laptop, but it's 11980 HK with an RTX 3080 in it. So that would be my rendering machine for when I do some videos. Simping for Gordon, I recognize you from the PC world. Just remember, I'm Gordon's #1 fan. Okay, Gordon. So, Nova Silisco says Intel with Arc, Alchemist, Battle Mage, Celestial. A lot of people complain that it's Celestial, not Cleric. I wonder if Cleric has been trademarked. That's why they're not using it. And then I forget what D is. Oh, D is Druid. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good naming system. Now, unfortunately, numbers work a lot. Numbers work because people understand that higher numbers is usually better, or process node lower numbers is better. But that's where I think Intel's naming scheme works, because it's just A, B, C, D. And if you think about it, it's actually the alphabet's in some arbitrary order. So, does AMD have a patent on chiplet technology? No. They were just lead TSMC partner. If you go to CNET, go look at all the photos from Stephen Shankland, I think his last name is. Sorry, Stephen. But he was in Arizona's packaging fab for Intel, and he took a picture of an early Meteor Lake with 4 tiles. So, no, and chiplets have been done for a long time. It's just AMD is the only one who's really put it into mass production for a consumer level design. Unless you count the quad cores from Intel back in the day that were 2 dual cores. So, yeah. I would love it if... So when you speak to these companies about naming, they say that they all do market research about what names work best, especially because different names in different countries might mean something else. I mean, aside from having favorite numbers, like China loves number 8 but is against number 4 because the sounds that number 4 makes is close to the sound that for the character for death. Stuff like that, but also certain words don't work in countries, so you have to make sure that it translates well. and they all say they do market research, and it's really hard to determine exactly how that market research is done. Because if you say, how do you do your market research, the answer that is always given is, well, we do market research, and we ask a lot of people. And I would love to be able to turn around and say, well, show me. Hello. Another one come join. Hello. Yes. Do you want to come in? Yep. Time for another lap cat. Oh. You look exactly like the one who laid on me earlier for like an hour. Mind you, half the cats in this sanctuary all look the same because they're all from the same family, it looks like. But yeah, if I got a chance to look into some of that market research, I reckon that'd be interesting. Maybe I can convince a company to... I fully expect they just farm it out to an agency, and that's how they do it. Hey Muse, what's your favorite process node? No, he just wants strokes. Sorry, I haven't got as many meows on the stream. There's been a lot of them have been meowing all day, but because it's so windy, it's hard to pick up. Oh, there's a dragonfly, and there's about 5 different cats going after it. I'm sorry, you're just watching me watching them. This is ripping TV, isn't it? So glad you could join me for stroking cats. Namidaka, the reason why I'm holding it rather than putting it onto my collar is it is really windy. It is really, really windy, so... 7 nanomuse. Yep, that works out about well. It's actually gotten really warm here now. My legs are in the sun, and they're getting a bit toasty for... Was it almost 2:45? How many times do cats get stuck on trees there? I don't know. One of the pens here that wasn't here last time I visited a few years ago has a mango tree in it, and I was told go under the mango tree and look up, and I did, and all you see are cat butts and a few faces looking down at you like why are you looking at us? I have video that I took of that, and so yeah, maybe I'll attach that to a video at some point in the future. So do you see the industry eventually moving to more SoC like designs? So the thing here is, it's something that I've been saying to the investors I consult with. If you look at all the chiplet designs so far from AMD, you don't see a chiplet CPU and there's no chiplet APUs under $300. That kind of gives you the level at which, if you're going to, if your product is selling for less than 300, excuse me, maybe chiplets isn't a good idea. If it's if you are selling a CPU above $300, then yeah, go for chiplets. So it'd be interesting to see how Intel approaches this when it gets to Meteor Lake. Because if they're using 4 tiles for Meteor Lake, as was shown in the CNET article, it's going to be, yeah. I mean, we're in a situation right now with Alder Lake, right? 12th gen. We've got the K SKUs come out. You know, they're all 8+8. But then we've seen that the silicon for the lower end CPUs is just 6+0. And that's because it's smaller to make, and it's cheaper to make, it's smaller. And we're going to see if that is going to translate over to when they move to chiplets, when they move to tiles. Yeah, even Pat Gelsinger said chiplets in his last presentation. So I wonder how long they're going to keep tiles up. They keep tiles up because they have to have something different, and their argument is, well, their silicon, because it's using EMIB, it's effectively monolithic. So if it's effectively monolithic, then it's not chiplets. That's why they're calling it tiles. Though, that being said, MI250X uses that embedded, not embedded. It's I think they're calling it EFOB, embedded fan out bridge, where it's like EMIB, but instead of it being embedded in the substrate, it's sitting on top of the substrate, and you just raise all the other chips up. Your problem there changes from having your embedded bridge in the substrate, which is hard, to creating copper pillars the size of your EFOB, the size of your bridge. And that is also hard, but I think it's not as hard as a problem as an embedded bridge. So let's be interesting to hear if the financial costs and the yields of EFOB are lower than EMIB. So yeah, maybe that's a topic for a video as well. EFOB versus EMIB. Say in chat if you want to see that video. It's funny, flying out on the plane here, I would have loved to have just sat there talking to camera and recording some stuff for you guys. But I've tried recording in planes before. No. Not unless you are an audio whiz and you know how to cancel all that out. It's not worth it. It really isn't. I'm no audio whiz, as most of you keep telling me when my audio is out of sync on my videos. At some level, I wish I just had somebody to deal with that, because, yeah. I think the latest... I've changed recently how I do my videos. I used to film it with my DSLR connected to OBS, and I would record on OBS, and the audio would still come through the camera as well. What I've been taken to doing now is, instead of filming with my camera lens through OBS, I actually film on the camera, because then I can get it to focus better, because that's also a pain point I've got with recording. And then I record the audio both locally to the device and through OBS, and then I mix the two together, whichever one comes out better, because the one through OBS also has RTX voice. That's coming out so far. Yeah, I like RTX voice. I don't like the fact that they integrated it into that GeForce software. I much more preferred it when it was a standalone thing, and that's what I still use on my main system today. So I haven't. What NVIDIA needs to do is offer RTX Voice as a standalone program, so that I can just submit my audio files to it, and then it will just process the audio file as if it was live. If I need to do that now, I need to set the audio to loop back into the system, and then record it in real time back to itself. Why I can't just drag a file into an RTX Voice cleaner upper astounds me. I would pay for that. Because I work in a room that has systems being tested, and my NAS is loud, and my Chia farm is quite quiet these days. So, yeah. NVIDIA, if one of you is watching, do that for me, please. Or anybody else with a good algorithm. So, how can you record videos while on a plane? You have to concentrate of maintaining armrest domination. Because I fly so much, this sounds like I'm bragging, but I have BA Gold or One World Emerald, which is applicable in American, which means the minute I book a flight, and 99.9% of my flights are economy, the minute I book a flight, I can choose a seat, and I can choose main cabin extra or a bulkhead seat, because I'm short enough I fit into a bulkhead seat. I can do that straight away when I book a flight. So usually I get all the leg room, and that means I can put a camera on a selfie stick, basically on one of my short selfie sticks, and do a piece to camera. But again, video is not the problem, it's audio. It very much is audio. Murray, you need to get Isotope RX for audio. I don't think I've heard of that software. So, And you guys have got a few software solutions. Maybe I should have a look at that. And Ruru2M asks, are planes still doing restricted number seating? Nope. It's all back to normal. The US domestic flight situation is all back to normal now. Everybody is wearing masks, and you may or may not know, but planes actually recycle all the air inside the cabin every 4 minutes. So as long as you're not next to a sneezy, I don't think they'd even let a sneezy person or somebody with a cold on a plane anymore. So yeah, I'm not too worried about flying right now. So yeah, it's just flying to Hawaii. While Hawaii, it's not a press junket. It really going to be working hard. This is just my extra day to get over jet lag, and I just ended up in a cat sanctuary. It's 21 hours. Even with my status, even with having access to the lounges and being able to choose seats, I wouldn't want to do it without, really. But yeah, Muriazi, if you've only ever been on one flight, I can guarantee you it was probably a really bad one. The benefit of flying, as much as I do or did pre-pandemic, is that I know all the tricks. I know the airports that I use. I know where all the good stuff is. I know what time to get there. I know how to deal with security, so they're not a pain. I know where all the good shops are. I know where all the hidden stuff is. If there's something hidden that's worth going to see or do inside a terminal, get the seat I want. Be nice to the stewards, and sometimes they're really, really responsive back. I've actually been watching YouTube shorts about stewards and stewardesses recently, listening to what they have to go through. It's quite fun. So Ruru 2, it's not a 21-hour flight direct. I changed twice, once in Charlotte and another in San Francisco. I spent the night in San Francisco. That helps with the jet lag. But yeah, get 6 hours sleep, then get on another plane for another 6-hour flight. Breaking it up, if you're coming that far, if you're doing that journey, you have to. I know there are some people who are based in South America, and when they go to Taiwan for Computex, the easiest way for them to go would be fly up to the US, then across from the US. But sometimes the US won't give them a visa, even a transit visa. So instead, they have to fly to Australia, then Australia to Singapore or to Hong Kong, and then over to Taiwan, and that's just as bad. And yeah, I'm 5'6". Some might argue I'm 5'5". So I generally fit in a plane seat. Though if I get the chance, I always get a bulkhead. And yes, I know some of you are tall, and you would really love that seat. I do too. Sorry. And if I flew United on one of my legs here, and I paid extra for it because it really is worth it. I also get aisle seats because you're guaranteed one arm of room, depending on which aisle you're on. That's always helpful. It does mean you do have to move more for people who want to get over you. That's fine. I don't suggest sleeping on airplanes, on flights. If I can, I always get, if I'm doing a long haul flight, regardless of which direction, I get a flight in the morning. That way I've just woken up and I'll be awake the whole flight, and I'll either work or I'll watch films or I'll do something, because the sleep you have on a plane, especially in economy, is the worst sleep you'll ever have. So if at all, avoid it. It may mean you need an extra day of travel. If that is, just do it. And I know some jobs are really cantankerous. If you're doing it for work, they'll say, well, no, your final day finishes at 4 and it's like a 8-hour flight home. We want you on the 9 o'clock flight. Just, yeah. If I ever run a company, I always put in for an extra day. Never fly home. Never do a long haul flight after a full day of work. So, people who do the red eyes. It's kind of crazy. Oh, these guys are winding down now because the sanctuary is closing. It's 3 p.m. My flight out of here is at 5:30 p.m. It's a 25-minute walk to the airport. So I'm going to be sat on my Larry for 2 hours. Maybe I'll be able to go through some of the videos that I've recorded while I'm here. It's been a short stream, but I'm glad I did it. I mean, yeah, tons of cats, though they all seem to be... They're getting into a nice nap scenario now, so... Oh, let's see if I can find some more just to point this at before we go. I mean, this place is kind of nice. Sorry if you feel seasick. Oh, here's a ton of cats. Look. Hope and love, and some of these are very, very skittish, but they're all in the sun, all kind of relaxing. Hey, you meowing at me? Meow. Who's meowing at me? Somebody is. Oh, and it just got very windy all of a sudden. Hey. Oh, hello. You were here when I started my stream. Oh. I'm being... Don't fight. Hey. I am being mobbed. So... They all want the strokes. And they all want to smush their faces against my laptop. Okay, I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for this random stream. And I'll see you in the videos that drop. Good to have you.